Hey, good morning. We'll get started here in about 3 minutes. Branches and divisions, if you can find your assigned seats up front. And if you're speaking, please start to line up. Check, check. He's good? Hey, good morning. I'm showing 0700. We'll get started with today's operational briefing for July 26, 2021. If you can do me a favor and please silence your cell phones, turn down your radios, keep all side conversations outside the briefing area so everybody gets a good briefing. My name is Chris Curry, the Plans Section Chief. We'll get started with the incident situation update.
Good morning, Josh Campbell, Night Ops for Team 1. So before I get started on this, it was pointed out to a partner of mine, I wanted to forget this day for the rest of my life, but this day means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to Team 1 and a lot of people here that were on the car fire. This was the worst day of our lives. We lost Jeremy Stoke, we lost Don Smith, and then we lost 3 civilians. And it means a lot to us, and we'll never forget those people, but that will be ingrained in our mind forever as one of the worst days that we've ever had to face. So just remember today and go out there and give that extra effort for the people that sacrificed their lives on that day, please. Division Alpha and Bravo continue to mop up and patrol their lines along the 70 corridor and then along the bottom down there. And then Division C, Charlie, they are working in there still and trying to make a difference, finding opportunities where they can possibly put more line in, because that's not over. You know, they've got it, what they think is buttoned up, but if the weather changes, it could come out on them. So we need to get it, or they're working hard in there. Division Echo, that's a crucial piece today, and it was a crucial piece for them yesterday. They need to tie that into Bull Hill with the dozers and whatnot. The masticators are in there so they can get ready for the firing operation that they've continued from Foxtrot and Golf. They started up on Humboldt Summit, brought it down to Jonesville. That should be tied in probably within the hour to the pavement. And then they'll carry it on down into Division Echo. Division Golf, same thing. They started up on Humboldt Summit, carried it down. They're going back towards Lake Almanor, and they're getting pretty good depth in there. The fire was consuming nice, so that's a crucial piece that they were trying to get taken care of, and they're doing a good job in there. Division Juliet and Lima, same thing, continuing that firing operation along Humboldt Road. And then also in Division Lima, they brought it from drop point 103, and they're continuing back towards Humboldt Summit along Humboldt Road. Division Mike, they constructed line from Skinner Flats all the way out to drop point 105, and they also have the contingency line. They need to work in there, or they're working in there with the feds yesterday, sharing equipment and whatnot, trying to figure out where they're going to tie that line in. End of report. Have a safe shift, guys.
Okay, moving on to the incident objectives, starting with the management objectives. Utilize the risk management process to identify and mitigate hazards to protect firefighters and the public. Emphasize strategies and tactics that have the highest probability of success and the least exposure to firefighters and the public. Develop strategies to protect life, property, communities, businesses, and infrastructure. Employ tactics that fulfill these strategies while being mindful of the necessity for contingency and emergency plans. Ensure strategies account for incident priorities, applying resources to those with the highest consequences first. Follow COVID-19, CDC, and established local, state, and federal guidance to limit the virus spread within the incident and the surrounding communities near the fire area. Provide timely and continuous incident information to affected agency partners, cooperators, California Team 2, as well as the public. And maintain fiscal accountability and keep costs commensurate with values at risk. Control objectives. Keep the fire north of the fire perimeter and Highway 162 and the junction of Highway 70. Keep the fire south of Highway 36 and Highway 89. Keep the fire east of Highway 32. And keep the fire west of Genesee Road and Grizzly Ridge to Highway 70. Fire weather.
Good morning, Julia Ruthford with Fire Weather. So yesterday we got really fortunate that the inversion ended up being very deep, smoke-filled, and very strong. It ended up lifting out a whole lot later than expected, didn't even break all the way. So that was really fortunate because we did have the mid-level moisture come in overhead, and I bring that up because it's still overhead. So what prevented the fire from interacting with that mid-level moisture was that strong inversion. However, today we're not looking at nearly as strong of an inversion. The southeast flow overnights carried a lot of the smoke away. There's not as much in the valleys. There still is some, but it's going to be shallower. It's going to break earlier. I'm thinking about 1100 for the time for that inversion breaking. And once that lifts and we get into the clearer skies, that's going to let things warm up. That's going to let things dry out. That'll also let the smoke columns have the potential to build up to the height where that mid-level moisture is to get the extra boost in the afternoon. So that potential for large, rapid pyrocumulus growth on top of the fire is a distinct possibility today, more so than yesterday, just because of that weaker inversion. Time period that would be most likely would be 1500 in the afternoon onward, as we get into the warmer, drier, more unstable part of the day. Other change from yesterday is we have more southwest winds in the area. Those tend to channel up the drainages, also surface on the ridges. We're looking at wind speeds in the 20 to 30 mile an hour range up on those ridges, combined with minimum humidities in the low to mid-teens this afternoon. Other potential concern, we'll see some cumulus buildups in the afternoon. Isolated thunderstorms possible. They should be mostly east of the fire area this afternoon and evening. And then we've got another wave of monsoonal moisture coming up tonight that'll continue the isolated thunderstorm threat through the overnight hours. Also bring the potential for some light showers or sprinkles over the area at time. The coverage on that will be really isolated, but don't be surprised if you see that tonight. Have a safe shift.
Fire behavior.
Good morning, John Cook, Fire Behavior. So what I hear from what Julie is saying, the biggest thing that concerns me is the sun, right? So we've been several days under sort of these moderate, inverted, cloudy, lack of sun conditions. We know the fuels are dry, but that little tweak and that extra sunlight hitting that surface makes a big difference in how things are going to get started or how things are going to progress. So really pay attention to that. That's a changeover from some of the conditions you all have been working on there for the last several days. Anytime I start seeing sun after several days of cloud cover, I get a little bit worried. The behavior we've seen the last several days has been pretty moderate surface movement, rollouts, occasional torching, and some of that timber understory. So if you're in an area where you got any of that shrub, any of those ladder fuels, those are still taking, and they're going to be even worse today. The fuels, again, are very receptive. You look in the forecast, you can see how low the moistures are, and that's not going to change throughout the period anytime soon. Our biggest issues, I think, with those winds, again, channeling, that southwest flow, channeling through there, it encourages that lateral movement along those slopes and a chance for anything to hook and pop up. We put a lot of fire on the ground last night. They did good work. You guys got a lot out there, but that means there's a lot of unburned pockets, things that maybe didn't get done last night. Things are going to close out. So the spotting potential today is, again, going to be a big issue. So that's my biggest concern, with all the stuff that's unburned between where the line's been established and where the fire perimeter originally was. So with spotting, the spotting they'll establish very quickly, very rapidly, and those rates are in my forecast. I'll leave you with watch out number 12. If you can't see the main fire and you're not in contact with someone who can, make a change and make sure you know where it's at. Have a good day.
Thank you. Operational work assignments.
Good morning, Merrick Fields, operations for IMT1. A lot of hard work has gone on out there by both sides of the shift, by everybody in base camp supporting what we're doing on the line. We are this close to closing this door on this. We just need a couple more shifts of hard work out there, and we'll have this buttoned up. So for today, the Division Alpha, Bravo, the Highway 89 group, I've been beating up the concept of commingling with our folks on the other side, the East Zone. You guys are doing a great job. Keep that up. Support them with what their operation is and keep moving forward. We've done a lot of good work up in here. We're going to have to get back up in the Highway 70 corridor in that Paxton area and do point protection on those structures as the fire moves around there. Moving up into the Division Charlie, we haven't had any issues in there in that Snow Meadow area for a couple of days, but we still need to get in there and start mopping that up all in through there so we can start stretching the black line further up. Moving up into Division Echo and Foxtrot, prepping that line in there. We've got a little bit of work to finish on that prep so that we can potentially fire that tonight if conditions warrant it. And then moving up into Foxtrot and Golf, the firing operation, they put a lot of fire on the ground. We have to hold those lines in there. We have to get people in there and start mopping up, watching the green, making sure that we don't have any spots outside the line. And it's coming all the way across the Humboldt Road back to the Highway 89 corridor. Same thing. That's all should all be fired this morning. There may be a small piece in there left to fire, but if that's the case, we'll get in there and finish that firing operation and then start mopping that up and holding all of that stuff. Moving over in Division Mike, we're working with the Division November folks and the Branch 25 folks on the East Zone. Common communications anywhere in there where we're touching the East Zone, and get in there and support them as long as we can hold what we've got. And then we've got our West contingency that's working over there above the Highway 32 corridor. We got to get that piece buttoned up and tied in all the way so that in the event that we have something catastrophic happen over here, we've got that to fall back on. And then we've got the North contingency, which is working around the just east of Almanor Lake, and then we've created a new contingency, which is over a little bit further, the Northeast contingency, and that's to start putting in some contingency lines between the Fly Fire and Westwood. And I want to leave you guys with one thing. 3 years ago today was a very catastrophic moment on the Carr Fire. Let's go out there safely and effectively, but let's work hard and let's close this door in the memory of those great individuals we lost. Thank you.
Thank you. Branch and division roll call.
Good morning, BJ Corey, Resource Unit Leader with Team 1. This will be the branch and division roll call for the West Zone. So branches and divisions, both here and at the Westwood camp, when you hear your name, please stand, face the crowd so everybody can see and hear you. And we will start with Branch 1. Wallen? Here. Division Alpha, Sawyer? Highway 89 group is a ride-in with Nelson. Fire suppression repair, Derby. Silver Dollar staging, Riley. Branch 5, Vance. And Andreas. Bravo Charlie, Clellan. Division Echo, Mancebo. And Coos trainee. Branch 7, Dyer. And Todashini trainee. Division Foxtrot, Hollister. Division Golf, Watner. Branch 9, Shalhoub. And Novak trainee. Division India, Ryan. And Covert. Division Juliet, Hunt. Branch 10, Petro. Division Lima, Engler. And Manfred trainee. Division Mike McGovern. And Morgister trainee. Lake Almanor Group, England. Contingency Branch, Felix. West Contingency, Sorensen. And Guy. North Contingency, Lohan. Thank you, everybody, and have a safe shift.
Air operations.
Good morning, everyone. Thomas Smith, Deputy Air Operations, Team 1. I want to start with two topics that we need to just review and cover again. Frequencies, make sure you're monitoring air-to-ground tactical, and for Division Group SOOPs and up air-to-ground command. With the air clearing and that inversion going away, we're expecting good fixed wing and rotor wing over the fire, and they want those lines cleared and good communication with the ground resources when utilizing them. The second thing, UAS or drone operations. The only approved UAS missions are approved through the AOBD, and those are unmanned Romeo missions. So for the lineup today for fixed wing, we have them early up. We'd like to get them over the fire and assisting you guys. Rotor wing wise, we're sharing them across the incident. We have 20 type 1s, 6 type 2s, and 8 type 3s. We also have the Deer MRB up at Deer Valley for both ground application and rotor wing application of retardant. With that, have a safe shift.
Communications.
Tom Webb, Communications Unit Leader. Pleasure to say there's no changes from your last operational period in the radio plan. So, but if you have any doubt that you have the correct radio load, please come and see us. It's very important you have the correct radio load in there so that you can talk with the Branch 2025 resources and be able to work through and talk to anybody on our side. We were able to get the repeater up on Red Hill, so the Highway 70 corridor is a lot better than your guys' last shift up there. There is a little bit of a typo on the map. It is NIFC C57 that's up there, not the 46. So pay attention to the 205 on what frequencies are up in there. Said CDF 50 or NIFC 57 is what's there in the canyon. A little radio etiquette cleanup. As you hear, there's a lot of tails, repeater tails out there when you transmit. Take a minute, take a pause, let all those close before you respond to someone calling you. We're having a lot of issues, guys, keying up before those all close, which then they screw up the timers and everything else, then you hear nothing but garbled transmissions. Have a safe shift, and if you have any questions, come and see us.
Medical.
Good morning, Josh Day, Medical, IMT 1, CAL FIRE. Please turn to page 37 in your IAP. For the assignments on the line today, you will have line medics, Echo through Mike. Each division will have ALS resources. The ambulances, drop point 50, 101, 102, and 108, and that is to encircle the west zone should you need transportation needs. For the REMs, they'll be in Division Foxtrot and Mike, and they will work through the divisions and branch for targets opportunity for any technical extrication. Day hoist will be 0 Delta Foxtrot, and 24-hour ALS hoist will be 822. CalMat is at both camps, both with MDs, and they will be for treatment and supply. MERT will move today to Westwood, and they'll be by the CDCR sleeping. For line emergencies, that box 6, that's the term we need to hear, and followed by the protocol, the Dutch Creek protocol to get you the treatment and transport. Please brief your crews on this. It should not be the first time you're going over it during an emergency. Have a safe shift.
Safety.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Brad Niven with Safety. Today, I'd like you to work on your communications. Our comms folks have been doing a great job of building out the communication system. And today, I'd like you to work on figuring out what your primary, your alternate, your contingency, and your emergency communications channels are. Yesterday, we had a possible line emergency. They had to put human repeaters into place. Everything worked out really, really well with that. So today, I'd like you to work on those things. We got a lot of different operations going on out there on this fire. We have tactical patrol, we have firing. Please make sure everyone is wearing the proper PPE for the task they're completing. Let's avoid any of those unnecessary injuries. Next, please make sure that you're getting good documentation on any accidents, injuries that are happening out on the line. If you've got to read a quick dictation into your phone, snap some pictures, it'd be greatly appreciated. With that, have a safe shift.
Logistics.
Good morning, Jesse Morris, Logistics. If you are new to camp, please turn to page 40 in your IAP. This is our service and support schedule for both the Chico and Westwood camp. On page 42 is the CAL FIRE 101 form. This form is needed for any items you may have left on the line or been damaged, and you need a division group soup signature in order to get those out of supply. On page 43 is our vehicle repair checklist. This information is needed prior to calling communications to get those repairs from ground support. And on page 53 and 54 IAP, you'll find our facility map for both the Chico and the Westwood camp. Have a great day.
Information.
Good morning. My name is Chris Bruno, Public Information Officer Trainee for Incident Management Team 1. If you turn to page 45 in your IAP, I can update the current status of the incident. Currently, the Dixie fire is 197,487 acres, 22% containment, and we have 5,461 personnel on the incident. If you read below, we identify that if you're going to have packages or mail sent, we ask that you put your full name and O number on it so we can contact you. Also listed below is the media policy as well as the CAL FIRE and federal media policy. And also, if you run into media or folks on your incident, on your division, please advise them of the incident information line as well as the media line. If you have any questions, please contact the PIO shop. Thank you.
Liaison.
Yeah, good morning. Nate Armstrong, Liaison Trainee for CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 1. As this fire is spread out to multiple camp locations, we've ensured that we have liaison staff at both the Westwood camp and the Quincy camp. So regardless of where you might happen to be standing on the fire, if you have a request or need to make notification to one of our cooperating agencies, please be sure to run those through your chain of command, and we'll make sure that happens. For all the cooperating agencies, next cooperators meeting will be right here at 10 a.m. Thanks, and have a safe shift.
Law Enforcement Liaison.
Good morning, Todd Crawford, Law Enforcement Liaison, CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 1. Little changes in the evacuations yesterday afternoon. For our west zone, we did go ahead and put the east side of Lake Almanor into a mandatory with a warning into the Plumas County area. But you can find a complete list in your IAP of the evacuations, and you can always go to the Butte County websites and find the most updated online public version with GIS so you can really zoom in on those areas. Traffic. There's a lot of road closures out there, and we're doing really good getting the word out about slowing down and being safe. We only had one complaint yesterday. Let's try to make it 0 complaints with no speeding. Thank you.
Agency Administrator.
So good morning, everybody. My name is Bill Miller. I'm the Lassen National Forest Fire Chief, and I'm really grateful for all of you guys to be here. You guys have done a lot of hard work, and I know that not only for the Lassen National Forest, but for the Plumas and for our local governments, the counties around here, everybody's grateful for you to be here. There's been a lot of folks that have talked about recent events that happened at the campfire, anniversaries. Yesterday was the anniversary of the Dutch Creek incident. which is incredibly meaningful to me personally. And it seems like there's almost no days anymore where there's not an anniversary of something. And so, unfortunately, our job is to carry on and to learn from that and to take care of each other and make our decisions intentionally, right? So there's a lot of things that we don't control out there. I'm just going to ask that you look at the ones you do have an opportunity to control, make your decisions intentionally and communicate those well with the people around you, and take care of yourselves. You mean a lot to us. You mean a lot to our communities. And so please continue working well with each other, knowing you're appreciated by all of us here locally, and that we're grateful for you and our communities are grateful for you. And again, make your decisions intentionally, communicate them well, and take care of each other out there today, please. It means a lot. Thanks.
Our final comments from our Unified Incident Commander.
You know it's going to be a good day when the comm unit gets a cheer. All right, good morning. George Juan, Deputy Incident Commander for CAL FIRE IMT 1, one of the Unified Incident Commanders. Complacency, you guys are going to hear that many times throughout the next few days. Pay attention to the weather. Just because it's cooler now, weather is still dry up there. Pay attention to your surroundings. Day 14 of the fire. Every day, we keep going out there. We keep doing the same thing. It's very important that you guys are briefing your folks. We have talked about today on a very somber mood, but to remember Jeremy Stoke and for Don Smith, Reading firefighters, we will honor Jeremy Stoke, all the hard equipment vendors on all three base camps. We will honor you, and we will make sure that we go out there and fight fire safe. Today, take that extra second, call your family, tie in with your folks. We go hard on these fires, and we fight fire very aggressively, and our goal is to put this fire out. At that same time, remember your loved ones. With that, have a great day.
Thank you. And just as a reminder, if you're here as a trainee, make sure you're tying in with the training tech spec over by check-in. Make sure you get credit for this assignment. Okay, any unassigned resources, you'll check in with unassigned resources back where you picked up your IAPs. The division breakouts have changed, so please don't start moving until I'm done. Stage left, your right, Division Alpha, Highway 89 group. Fire suppression repair back in the corner. Staging resources right inside the interior wall. Bravo Charlie right on the other side of the opening. Division Echo over here in the corner. Division Foxtrot in the middle. And Division Gulf right next to that. Any Westwood resources that happen to be here for briefing, tie in with Branch over here in the back corner. Have a safe shift. Turn on your radios.